Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania wasn't just very mediocre, it's actually the first MCU box office bomb. I've already covered how it dropped by 69.7% in earnings from weekend 1 to weekend 2. Well, in weekend 3, it's dropped by another 59.9%. This is according to Box Office Mojo. The third Ant-Man film now drops to second place behind Creed 3. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania pulled in just $12.8 million on weekend 3. It originally opened to $106 million on its first weekend, and then fell to $31.9 million on weekend 2. Now, if I was being kind, I would say maybe we shouldn't be too hard on this first serious box office failure for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It has, after all, produced dozens of successful and critically acclaimed television shows and films, 31 movies in all, and so a major commercial failure was inevitable at some point, though to be fair, the film did itself no favours. I can't remember the last time a primary male superhero protagonist was so repeatedly upstaged by not just one female character, but three. Scott Lang had to, on several occasions in the movie, play basically second fiddle to the heroics of his daughter Cassie, girlfriend Hope Van Dyne, and her mother Janet Van Dyne. I've already discussed the subpar CGI effects. The environment of the quantum realm looks and feels completely uninspired and rather bland. Despite being a completely otherworldly alien realm, it just doesn't produce any kind of sense of awe or wonder. Everything about the visual look of this place feels flat to me, unreal, and just generally underwhelming. It leaves no lasting impact, and the less said about MODOK, the better. It's been said he looks a lot like Humpty Dumpty. Unreal. This is like bad video game CGI. Now, in defense of the visual effects artists, apparently the best technical visual effects resources were invested in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and this third Ant-Man film suffered as a result. But I think my biggest issue with the film is the central conflict of the story. Primarily, this story is about the main characters trying to get home after being sucked down into the quantum realm, and that by itself isn't a bad plotline. It's not especially original or anything, but the film also had a secondary function, which was to introduce the MCU's new primary villain, the next big bad in the vein of a Thanos-style threat. Kang is uninteresting. He just doesn't offer any real sense of menace or tension. He just feels like he's arbitrarily and angrily doing bad stuff because the script required an antagonist. His motivations aren't particularly well defined. Ultimately, the franchise has lost cohesion since Endgame in 2019. It's lost a sense of purpose and something to drive towards. Phase 4 began a downward spiral that pushed the message. Phase 5 is off to the worst possible start with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and now it looks like The Marvels has been delayed, and I certainly wouldn't have high hopes for that film. The next film to hit cinemas will be the third Guardians of the Galaxy film this summer. There won't be any more MCU films until 2024, with Captain America: New World Order, Thunderbolts, and Blade. The rest of 2023 will see MCU productions on television. Of all of the productions coming out this year, only Secret Invasion looks promising in my view, which features Samuel L. Jackson in the primary role for the first time, obviously once again playing Nick Fury. The story is a 6-part spy thriller centered around a Skrull invasion of Earth, as they have infiltrated key institutions of power. But the rest of the MCU Phase 5 roadmap doesn't really look all that promising, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.